Full EastEnders spoilers next week for 26th May, 29th May 2025. Zack Hudson's kidnap drama leads to horror late crash. On Zack Hudson and Harry Mitchell spark car crash horror. Zack asks Ravi for a loan to fund his escape, but Ravi warns him not to mess with Nicola Mitchell, revealing that she recently asked Ravi to move a body for her. Zack confides in Linda Carter, who convinces him to go to the police. Zack's information leads to Nicola's arrest, and when Zack sees Harry's reaction, he tells him the truth about Barney's paternity, hoping that Harry will want him to get Barney to safety. But when Nicola is released, Harry tells Dad Teddy Mitchell the truth: he's not Barney's dad, Zack is. Nicola tries to deny it, but is forced to come clean under pressure from Teddy. There's a painful confrontation between Teddy and Nicola, but the pair are shaken when Harry reveals Zack's plan to leave with Barney. Harry takes drastic measures to stop Zack and bundles him into his car boot before speeding out of Walford. Worried over his son's actions, Teddy intercepts Nigel, Billy and Honey Mitchell on the way to the cinema and demands a lift to follow Harry. Teddy hopes to reach Harry before he can see out his plan, but just when it looks like Teddy has sorted everything, a car veers off the road and submerges itself in the lake. 2. Vicki Fowler takes action as those trapped fight for survival in the aftermath of the accident. The survivors scramble bankside to try and save those trapped within the vehicle. As news of events reaches Albert Square, Vicki Fowler takes matters into her own hands, heading to number 1 to reveal a truth. The fallout of Vicki's outburst stuns Barney. But has she told him that Zack is his biological father? Linda and Phil are seen alongside Vicki and Barney as the shocking situation unfolds, but at the lake. Who is trapped in the car? And will they make it out alive? 3. Phil Mitchell tries to make amends with disappointed Nigel Bates. Phil is confused when Nigel is angry that they didn't celebrate his birthday, despite Nigel saying that he didn't want a fuss. After talking it over with Yolande, Truman, Honey and Alfie, Phil asks Nigel why he's upset. Later, Phil suggests a belated birthday celebration and Nigel asks to go to the cinema. But with Teddy interrupting these plans, how will Nigel be caught up in the terrifying events? 4. Avani Nandra Hart shares a kiss with Barney Mitchell. Avani receives an onslaught of cruel messages online as news spreads about her sleeping with Joel Marshall. Barney tries to support her, but Avani gets defensive and storms off when he mentions Joel. Barney later finds a distressed Avani in the playground and tries to help her again. He comforts her over the nasty messages, but Nicola finds them and assumes Avani is leading Barney astray. When Barney explains why Avani is upset, Nicola gives Avani a pep talk, and Avani is touched by Barney's support. Avani later invites Barney back to her house, but she gets angry when Barney gets the wrong end of the stick. Ravi spots the altercation and gives Barney some sage advice, leading the teens to make amends. As Avani kisses Barney. Is this the start of a blossoming new romance? EastEnders Lily makes devastating confession in early iPlayer release Cat Makes a Plan. With Stacey shutting herself upstairs and Jean and Mo away on holiday. Lily and Freddie have been struggling to take care of the Slater household themselves. Kat discovered that Lily had skipped school to get through her list of chores. She came to her rescue just as the situation escalated, with Lily's daughter Charlie getting injured. Lily and Kat took Charlie to get checked out of the hospital overnight, and in today's episode, they returned home. While Eve and Suki had looked after the kids, Kat took charge and insisted that Lily goes to school, while she called on Alfie to join her, Eve and Suki, for an emergency family meeting. The two couples tried to sort out childcare between them to ease the pressure on Lily, but conversation turned to Stacey and whether she needs help for her mental health. Kat was reluctant to get professionals involved, as Stacey getting sectioned might cause more trauma for Lily, so she wanted to tackle the crisis herself. When Stacey came downstairs, Kat tried to reach out to her cousin, but she was overwhelmed when she walked in on the family meeting. It was difficult to make any progress with Stacey. who made it clear that she didn't care about anyone around her in the aftermath of Martin's death, even though Kat said that she was hurting her kids. Later, Lily returned home early from school as she couldn't concentrate, and Kat assured her that she'd no longer have to look after the kids on her own. But Lily realised that Stacey was still in her bedroom, and she broke down in tears, devastated that she didn't have the support of her mum. Stacey came downstairs and overheard Lily talking to Kat and was saddened to hear that she was scared about what might happen to Charlie. "If she stays like this, I could lose Charlie." Lily wept. Mum's her legal guardian. Will Lily's fear for the future give Stacey food for thought? EastEnders reveals life-changing news for Barney. Amid romance update, Vicki drops a bombshell. Barney has been at the centre of a huge story in recent months, with the revelation that Zack Hudson is his biological father, but the teen is still completely in the dark. Meanwhile, while Barney is harbouring a crush on his friend Avani Nandra Hart, she has been more interested in newcomer Joel Marshall. The pair had sex, but she doesn't know that Joel secretly filmed them and has even shown the footage to Tommy Moon. Next week, news gets out about Avani sleeping with Joel, and she is horrified when she is subjected to a string of cruel messages berating her online. Barney would love to be more than friends with Avani, explains our source. But more than anything, he just wants to make sure his mate is okay. He tries to reach out to her about what's happened, but when he mentions Joel, Avani sees red and storms off. But it isn't long before Barney finds Avani upset in the playground, so he attempts to help her again and comforts her about the abusive messages. Nicola Mitchell spots the pair together and quickly jumps to the conclusion that Avani is leading her son astray. But when Barney tells his mum the truth, Nicola gives Avani a pep talk herself. Avani is grateful for this and for Barney's constant support throughout her ordeal. The teens continue to grow closer, and Avani asks Barney to come back to her house. But things soon go wrong when Barney accidentally misreads the situation, our insider reveals. Avani is furious and she storms off, an altercation which is spotted by Ravi. He gets involved and gives Barney some helpful advice, a far cry from when he dangled him over a bridge. Barney and Avani later make up, and Avani even gives Barney a kiss. Are they about to take their friendship to the next level? But Barney is unaware that Teddy Mitchell, Harry Mitchell and his biological dad Zack have been involved in a dangerous crash, with one car driving into the lake. As news of what has happened reaches Walford, Vicki Fowler decides to take matters into her own hands and heads over to number one to reveal a truth. Barney is stunned by Vicki's outburst, but what has he discovered? EastEnders confirms 6 characters in danger in deadly double car crash. Who will survive? The awful accident occurs in the wake of huge secrets being exposed that threaten to tear the Mitchell family apart, with other unsuspecting locals getting caught in the crossfire. The drama begins with Zack Hudson secretly plotting to flee Walford, taking Barney Mitchell with him following recent revelations about Shireen Bashar. Zack fears his biological son isn't safe around his mum and is putting plans in place to get him away. Needing some cash, Zack asks Ravi for a loan. Upon hearing what Zack has up his sleeve, Ravi warns him about Nicola Mitchell, revealing she recently asked him to move a dead body. This makes Zack even more convinced Nicola is trouble and he must cut her out of Barney's life. But the teen still has no clue about his true paternity. Zack has a heart-to-heart with Linda and tells her what he's learnt about Nicola, reveals our source. Linda urges Zack to go to the police to protect Barney. It's a risk, but Zack feels he has no choice, and as a result, Nicola is arrested. The Mitchells reel as Nicola is taken in for questioning, and when Zack clocks Harry Mitchell's reaction to his mother's arrest, he wonders if Barney's brother could become an unlikely ally. Zack informs Harry who Barney's biological father is, hoping the mechanic hates his murderous mum enough to turn against her and help get his sibling to safety. Nicola is eventually released, pending further inquiries, and she's soon back on the square. Shares our insider. But Harry storms in and announces the secret Nicola has spent 16 years trying to hide. Teddy isn't Barney's biological dad. Zack is. While Nicola desperately denies Harry's claims, Teddy can see right through her, and she has no choice but to admit everything. As Nicola tries to explain herself in an emotional showdown, Harry realises where his loyalties lie and reveals Zack is planning to run away with Barney. Nicola and Teddy try to stop Zack, explains our source, but Harry is one step ahead and sneaks off to derail his plans. He confronts Zack, bundles him into the boot of his car and drives off. Teddy soon works out what Harry has done and decides to intervene before things get out of hand. Teddy gets a lift from Billy and Honey Mitchell and Nigel Bates, hoping to catch up with Harry. After a dramatic chase, it looks as though Teddy has everything under control until things take an unexpected turn. One of the cars suddenly swerves and ends up veering off the road into a lake as some of the passengers scramble out of the vehicle. They try to save those trapped before they sink into the water. But which car has taken a plunge, and who will make it out alive? Stacey Slater leaving EastEnders. The actress, 37, joined the show in 2004 and departed 6 years later. She then returned permanently in 2014. In episodes that are currently airing, Stacey is struggling with the grief felt for ex-husband Martin Fowler, who died as a result of an explosion at the Queen Vic in February. In the moments prior to his death, he confessed that she was his true love. The passing has subsequently caused a rift within the Slater household, with Stacey locking herself away upstairs and eldest daughter Lily feeling abandoned by her mother. To facilitate Lacey's maternity leave, she is off-screen for a lot of scenes that concern her. Earlier this year, she gave birth to a baby daughter named Gypsy Olive with husband Matt Kay. The couple share another 2 children, Trilby Fox, 5, and Dusty Violet, 3. But is she set to exit the soap altogether? Is Lacey Turner leaving EastEnders for good? It was confirmed earlier this month that Lacey is departing EastEnders once again. While BBC bosses are keeping tight-lipped about her exit storyline, they have said that there's a lot more to come for Stacey in the months leading up to her exit. A spokesperson confirmed that the door would be left open for the much-loved Walford local to return one day. We can confirm that Lacey will be off-screen later this year, they said, but there is plenty of more drama to come beforehand, and we will look forward to planning Stacey's return when Lacey decides the time is right. While it has been said that the story team are ready to plan her reintroduction, some fans believe she could be away a while longer than expected. Okay, so Lacey Turner isn't actually leaving such an EastEnders for good. She's just taking an extended break, so she'll be back. I'm not worrying, unless it's a Linda Henry type of extended break, said one fan on X. This is, of course, referring to the Shirley Carter star who hasn't been seen in the square since 2022. Speaking of her exit, Lacey told The Sun, "It's time for myself and Stacey to take a rest, and who knows what Stacey will get up to in her time away knowing Stacey. It will never be boring." The news comes just days after she confirmed to the same publication that she was content with her work. "For now, I'm really happy and it works. I just sort of take each day as it comes. I think as any working person, you weigh up your options and I do what is best for us, really," she said. That may change, as they grow. If something doesn't work, then you change it. I personally do my best and we do our best and that works. All people are different and you've got to do what works best for you. I really love my job. I will always do. As you get older, you get a bit braver and a bit bolder. And I'm at an age now where I will do what is right for us. White Phil is left reeling in EastEnders by Nigel's unexpected outburst as dementia symptoms worsen. As viewers of the BBC One soap have seen, Phil decided to take on the responsibility of being Nigel's carer after he uncovered his plans to commit suicide. Since then, Nigel has found it difficult to adjust to his mate's newfound caring demeanour, and the setup has been anything but harmonious. This has only been worsened by the fact he seems to be struggling more and more with his memory, confusing two Walford youngsters for his stepdaughter Claire and trying to go to work at his old video shop, which is now a chemist. In upcoming scenes, Nige is furious that his birthday has been left unmarked. This is despite Phil's initial plans to host a party, which were put on the back burner after Nigel asserted that he was in no mood to celebrate and didn't want to fuss. Worried for his friend's well-being, he turns to Yolande, Truman, Billy and Harry Mitchell for advice. They suggest reaching out to Nigel and asking him for the true reason why he's so upset. Later, now seemingly on good terms, Phil suggests they hold a belated celebration and go to the cinema. However, elsewhere in Albert Square, tensions are rising with the other Mitchell clan. Harry has told his dad, Teddy, a jaw-dropping familial revelation. Barney isn't his son and Zack Hudson is. Matriarch Nicola tries to deny that she ever slept with Zack, but is forced to come clean when her husband won't back down on the truth. The situation escalates and tensions rise even further when Harry reveals that Zack is intending to take Barney and flee the area in a desperate attempt to stop him. Harry takes drastic action. He bundles Zack into the boot of a car and speeds off, though Teddy quickly becomes worried about what his son could be capable of. Chasing after him, he asks Honey, Billy and Nigel to divert their trip to the cinema and follow Harry's car instead. However, just as everything seems to be sorted, a car veers off the road and plunges into a lake. The survivors make their way out of the water while trying to rescue those that are still trapped inside of the vehicle. Will Nigel and the other passengers be okay? Is it their car that takes an icy dip?
Các bạn vừa theo dõi một sản phẩm của EastEnders Trailer TV. Xin chào và hẹn gặp lại các bạn.